Two Greg episodes in a row that literally start the same way. No, like, actually, look at these two opening scenes back to back.
Woo! Go Dad!
See? What'd I tell you?
Woo! That sounded great!
Oh, thanks.
Where does Greg keep all of this music equipment? Like, since they cleared out his storage unit, does he just keep all of it in Amethyst's room or the car wash or what?
I'm thinking about calling it Water Witch.
Cool.
That is the most non-genuine cool I've ever heard from Steven. That's a tone you use when you don't care but you don't want to offend anyone. Having a whole recording setup in the van is pretty sick, actually. As long as he parks far enough away from anywhere busy, he's got the mattress there for sound treatment. Greg could really be a one-man recording act. This episode really does a good job of reinforcing all that we saw last episode, where he still knows how to be his own producer.
Where's all this awesome energy coming from?
Actually, I was inspired to make some new songs after the ocean got sucked up into space a while back.
This is cool. This is a really natural alternative way for the show to do a recap without a previously on segment that some shows do. Have the characters talk about what happened so the viewers can be like, oh yeah, that did happen. Could you imagine if this show did previously on Steven Universe every episode like it was Avatar?
I even drew up some freaky album artwork.
Ooh, Greg's a musician and a visual artist. He's got it going on. But this is weird, right? Greg shouldn't have any idea what Lapis looked like, other than her face. Call it a plot hole, because that's what it is.
I don't think it's plugged in.
Aha! Boop!
I'm not an audio engineer, at least not anymore, but I know that's a 1/4-inch TS cable which is unshielded and only carries an unbalanced signal. I mean, that's pretty obvious, everyone should know that, which is why I think it's weird that Steven plugs it into the TV. Not to say that TVs didn't have 1/4-inch inputs at all, but never on the front. Only RCA plugs on the front, specifically for video games.
When you're a one-man band, you gotta know how to do it all. Lyrics, graphic design, forum moderation.
Greg has a forum? Damn, that's high class. All I have is a Discord server. Did you know I have a Discord server? There's a link in the description.
We need a catchy hook, something like, well, she's a riptide queen and she's super mean.
Remember what I said about Greg not being really cut out for rock? Yeah, this is a prime example of that, even though it's so short.
Whoa! Hold the phone. Now give the phone to me.
I use this phrase constantly. I even used it in a previous gemology video. It comes back in one episode as well, all the way in season 4. I'm almost never a fan of these sort of flashback montages, including those previously on segments in other shows. And I'm not a fan of this one either, but it's so short that I can't complain really. It serves a purpose. It's a brief recap of who Lapis was, because it's been more than 20 episodes since she was last seen. It's kind of weird that she wasn't mentioned for that long, even when the gems encountered Peridot.
It's not us. I think it's coming from the temple.
Let's check it out.
You go on ahead. If this is a gem thing, I don't want to get in the way.
Here's the main conflict, well, actually both main conflicts in this episode. The signal from the Wailing Stone and Greg's insecurities about being just a guy. There's a pretty obvious disconnect between Greg and the gems, especially with Pearl, and this episode is here to showcase that. Maybe to mend that a little bit by the end.
Plus, I could eat the rest of this pizza.
I mean, you don't have to eat the rest of the pizza. Come on, Greg, you could stand to eat a few less calories. Oh right, no fridge in the van. Yeah, you gotta eat the rest of that pizza. Don't want it to go to waste. Inconclusive damage to Steven's TV? Is this screen broken, or is it just a weirdly drawn reflection? Last time the Wailing Stone was activated, it totally shattered the TV. This could be the 4th TV that's been broken, but it might not be. We can call this one Schrodinger's TV. Putting anything that's not a gem in a bubble is one of those powers that the writers never seem to use when it's useful. We'll find out later in the show that there isn't really an upper limit to how big a bubble can be, so anytime a character has to transport something large or heavy, realistically they should be putting it in a bubble to make it weightless. This is just a nitpick though, and it really doesn't matter that often. There aren't really any carrying really heavy object for a long distance conflicts in this show.
I don't understand. That thing has lain dormant since we found it.
In the grand time scale of the gems being on Earth, it's incredible that they found the Wailing Stone right before they got this message.
We've rounded up all the Wailing Stones on Earth.
That's actually incorrect. We'll see a giant one of these in Season 3 when we get there. It's kind of refreshing to not add the Wailing Stone to that list of weird things that only appear in Season 1.
Audio? My Daddio knows audio!
You ever notice this weird, cloudy, shiny eye thing? It only shows up in episodes written by a specific couple of storyboard artists, and they seem to really fucking love doing this. Lamar Abrams and Helen Jo. If you have the time, find some episodes written by them and see if you notice it. It's constant, to a point that it's kind of distracting. Just make them stars, like every other episode.
My Daddio knows audio!
You mean Greg?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't whine. Let's try it.
Part of me wants to think that Garnet used her future vision to know that Greg could get the message, and maybe she was even able to hear the message itself, but didn't have the guts to tell the crystal gems. Garnet seems to be the biggest Greg advocate in this episode, aside from Steven, of course.
Aha! The Lubitz Cardioid Condenser 680.
Okay, fine, add the Lubitz Cardioid Condenser 680 to the list of weird things that only appear in Season 1.
It's got warm tones without too much top end.
Plus it's got a big honkin' sponge thing.
I know, isn't it awesome?
God, I love Greg. He's a man who can appreciate the simple things in life, like big fucking windscreens on a microphone. Take note that none of these wires are plugged into any of the speakers or anything else in the van. There's 3 cords coming out of the keyboard, one of them goes to the microphone, and the other 2 go to these effects pedals. The van isn't doing any of the heavy lifting here, which is weird when it ends up dying. Speaking of van, is the van just fucking massive in this scene or what? It looks like a building.
Looks like the van battery couldn't handle all this.
Battery? This is the battery over here. Whatever smoking is... Actually, I don't know what any of this is. None of these things look like any car parts I've ever seen.
We'll figure something else out.
What a waste of time.
See you later, Gregory.
Aw, come on, y'all. Huh?
Alright, that's cute. I like that gag.
Could have tamed you, I could have shown that I could depose you from your loud throne. But in the end, I wasn't good enough. I just showed the gems that I ain't got the stuff.
Greg Ballad! I spent all last episode talking about Greg being a ballad man. I don't think there's anything more to say.
But Dad, if it isn't sound, then what else could it be?
It's smell!
Magic eyeballs. Oh my days, it's video.
Oh my days. There's some classic kids show censorship of the phrase, oh my god. I can take it when someone says, oh my gosh, but oh my days sounds so unnatural. I've never heard someone say oh my days in real life, and this is the only time they say it in the show. I don't know, it bugs me after growing up on Ed, Edd n Eddy where they got away with saying oh my lord quite a few times. The gems have all the cushions around the Wailing Stone despite the fact that they left them on the beach. Also, they're sitting on the bench over here specifically because they took all the cushions off the couch.
Go for it, Garnet.
Garnet electricity powers. I know you forgot about them, but I didn't. This power comes back and you're gonna forget about it again before it does.
Okay, Amethyst, try it now.
Never started a car with a key before. That's way easier.
I'm telling you, Amethyst's gotten into some hot water with the law in the past. Maybe I should start a list of Amethyst's implied crimes. Grand Theft Auto is a good one to start that list.
Come on.
Steven!
Lapis?
One more media nitpick because I literally went to college for this shit. If this is the video signal, then there shouldn't be audio. It can't be both. They should have been able to hear Lapis's voice before if that was the case.
Steven!
Lapis?
I did it.
I can't believe my flipping eyes.
This is out of character for Pearl, right? I mean, it's funny, but it's funny because it's out of character. This is something an Adventure Time character would say, not Pearl.
Everyone, listen up.
I hope you're able to hear this. There's a gem that's looking for you. She even knew your name. I don't know how. I didn't tell her, I swear. She's on her way to Earth. And she's not alone.
Lapis is here to tell them that the plot is about to move forward, fast. But something that these warning messages in all media do is not give any details whatsoever. Instead of saying that a gem is coming and that she's not alone, it would have taken exactly the same amount of energy to say that a Peridot is on her way with a Jasper as backup. Writers like to omit details for the sake of drama.
Steven, Homeworld? It's not the way it used to be. Everything here is so advanced.
Something people like to complain about regarding Lapis is the fact that she made it back to Homeworld in about a year on Earth. I guess it's not that obvious that she didn't actually fly all the way to another galaxy millions of times faster than the speed of light in that amount of time. She probably flew somewhere in the solar system with a warp pad and warped back to Homeworld. That, or she found a way to send a message to Homeworld and was picked up by a gem spacecraft and flew back that way. Just because we didn't see it doesn't mean she flew back herself. It's a misconception caused by the Stevens point of view rule that I won't shut up about.
What are we gonna do?
Phew. We did it.
What?
We got the message.
But
This is the beginning of the facade of everything being fine that the gems put on, which is a major point next episode. It's mostly for Steven's sake, but here it's also so Garnet can show her appreciation to Greg. And good on Garnet, Greg needed a win. Greg hasn't done anything but be a cool guy for this whole season, minus that one episode. So him getting to prove himself to the gems is great, not only for him but for the audience. Greg isn't a total deadbeat, he's here to help.
My mind is the internet. I know every continuity mistake ever made on television.
These fucking robots and AIs, they're here to steal my job. This is my show, I'm the gemology guy, and you can't take that away from me. Generally, episodes like this one, which only take place in 1 or 2 locations and have no action to speak of, are ones that I tend to complain about. However, this episode was packed with good jokes, good character moments, and a huge pivotal moment at the end. This episode really is kicking everyone into gear, like now we're on a ticking clock. Something big is about to go down, and it's happening fast. I don't think I like this episode as much as I remembered, though. I think I was looking at it through some rose-tinted glasses, just from the fact that it's plot relevant, and it's the first time we get to see Lapis in over 20 episodes. If you boil down this episode, the only thing that happens is Greg getting the signal, which is accomplished without any true explanation. Not that I expected any explanation of what all these effects pedals do in a kid's show, but it's just a little lackluster. But if you want to see new episodes of Gemology a week before they premiere on YouTube, you can subscribe to my Patreon for just a couple bucks. The link is in the description as always. Shoutouts to my Journeyman patrons, Henri Wickers, Bananas Are Violet, Boomblorp, Emma Fatso, Gage M, Gizmo, Scala LD, The Tamara, and ZT the Fish Guy. Also shoutouts to these apprentice patrons. Next episode is Political Power, The Calm Before the Storm.